So you find yourself wanting to experience that jet life, but you're not quite ready to actually buy an entire jet. One of the best things you can do is charter a one-time flight in a private jet. So you got a trip coming up and you're ready to charter your first private flight. What do you do? Where do you go? Charter flight Sarasota. And as soon as you do that, you're going to find out there are a lot of options for you to choose from. What kind of airplane do you choose? What charter company are you going to choose? How come this one is only charging a couple $100s per hour and this one is charging thousands of dollars an hour? Just like buying a private jet, the charter world can be just as confusing. And so there are many benefits to working with a charter broker. Most especially, you have a guide. You have a professional working alongside with you to make sure that your trip is the best that it can be. Now, before we get into all of the options that are present, you need to know what is a charter operator or a charter operation. Basically, it's an organization, a company that has gone through the rigorous FAA-approved process to get their aircraft and their fleet ready to take on passengers. That means there's a more stringent maintenance requirement. There's more stringent pilot requirements. It's overall a whole entire operation. And one of the first things that a charter broker is going to do is going to weed out all those illegal operations or those operators that try to make money on their aircraft without going through the proper channels. Now, before I continue on, I hope this information is helpful. I want you to go to theultimatejetguide.com and check out our ultimate guide for charters. I'm going to share with you the top tips and tricks that you need to be aware of when choosing a charter broker, as well as working with a charter operator. Now, even if you find an operator that is a legal charter operation, you're going to also want to make sure that the plane that you're going to fly on is registered under the fleet. There have been stories of operators booking flights for one of their extra aircraft that is not actually on the certificate. And while I'm sure it would be fine if it's not registered under the certificate, it's technically not allowed. A good charter broker is going to know the history of the operators that he or she sets you up with, know if they have any FAA violations or anything like that. And what you'll notice is if I Google charter flight in Sarasota, I actually get ads and I actually get results for charter operators that are not even based in Florida for my Sarasota trip. And so depending on what's most important to you, if you would like that the operator is actually based where you're departing from, that's going to play a role and a charter broker can help you. Beyond screening the charter companies, a charter broker is going to have experience with operators. He's going to be a matchmaker to fit your desired trip experience with the experience of working with an operator. He's going to know the budget operators. And I mean that in a good way, the ones that just focus on the most cost efficient travel versus the ones that are going to be very luxurious, very white glove, very high end. If that's the experience you're looking for, then maybe you're going to want the broker to lead you towards that operator. But at the end of the day, you're not going to have that experience if you just go ahead and Google charter flights online. So a charter broker's experience and relationships with the operators is key. Choosing the right aircraft. Now, usually when people go ahead and charter, they're just looking at jets. And jets come in a lot of sizes and a lot of ranges and capabilities. So you want to make sure you pick the right aircraft for your mission. If you're only going somewhere in Florida, it's an hour, 2 hours max, you could probably get away with a light jet and it'd be the most cost efficient versus going in a full cabin class, you know, like a Gulfstream or something. That's more built for cross-country flying. But a lot of times when people are looking at charters, they just look at jets, when in reality, they may actually benefit more from flying in a twin piston or a turboprop like a Pilatus PC-12. As a matter of fact, a lot of operators tell me that from an hour and a half to 3 hours, the PC-12 can outperform a jet in terms of comfort and in terms of operating costs. So if those two things are important to you, and it's not just the speed of which you get somewhere between an hour and a half and 3 hours, you might actually look at a turboprop instead of a jet. And so in knowing all the options that are available to you is why you would want to work with a charter broker. At the end of the day, charter brokers are basically masters of chaos. And what I mean by that is they are the ones who bid out the trip to find the right fit for you. So if it's all about budget and cost efficiency, they're going to find the right fit for you. If it's all about that luxury experience, that white glove experience, they're going to know which operators to go with and be able to put point you in the right direction. Charter brokers are going to assist with all the paperwork and all the details that are required, from payments to passenger information, contact information, everything. They're going to put it all together so it's easy for you to act on. And don't forget the value adds. Maybe you want to have a car rental waiting for you at the airport, or you want specific catering, or you're celebrating a specific event. The charter broker can put those additional touches on when it comes to your flight experience. Now that you understand the benefits of working with a charter broker, I'm going to give you the 3 most important questions that you need to ask when booking your next charter trip. Check out that video right here.